Open late. Burger King, your community, your burger, your way.
Now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
Everywhere.
Can you hear me now? Everywhere. Everywhere.
Yes, right from your Android or iPhone. Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctor's Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from abroad to Yad. And Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees so fair. Today is Friday, the 5th day of December 2025, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands, 20 days away from Christmas Day as well. We hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please, please, please be extremely cautious, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or if you're operating any type of motorized vehicle. We urge you to please, please, please ensure that you observe the rules of the road, because the life you save may just be your own. And to add to that as well, looking at one of our local newspapers here in Cayman, the Compass, we see that police commissioner, Mr. Kurt Walton, one of the headlines, promises to clamp down on abject driving in Cayman. So we now know that the Commissioner of Police recognizes the problem. I would imagine that a combination of constant complaints as well as an increase in the number of vehicular accidents on our roads, as well as the increase in the number of vehicles on our roads and the increase in the number of poorly or unqualified drivers on our roads as well. It's causing everyone to come to the realization that we have a problem. Cayman, you have a problem. So the Commissioner of Police will be addressing that. If you have an interest, then check out the article in today's Compass. I think he did an interview on Compass TV as well in relation to that. Other headlines: regiment launches sanitation checkpoints in West Bay, and in combination with that, I can tell you now that our first guest in the studio this morning will be the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hilary Wolf, and the Director of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, and they will be talking about the H5N1 avian flu response in the Cayman Islands. They will be with us from 8:15 after the 8 o'clock news. They will be with us as well, talking about that. Then there are other stories in the Compass. Dangerous crosswalk built without approval, NRA says, but the NRA built it, and they needed it appears as if they needed the approval from right within their organization, and doesn't seem as if the right hand knew what the left hand was doing, and as well. Other articles in the Compass: Cayman bird flu traced to migratory birds, officials say. So we'll hear more again from Mr. Welcome and Dr. Wolf in that regard. And as you would have heard on our news, Ms. Carsla Fuller right here on the news this morning talking about international insurance and the fact that it will have a bigger impact in the Cayman Islands as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I'm your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. We have a toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. Other numbers, 949-8037, 949-6990, WhatsApp number 925-3261. This segment of the For the Record also brought to you by Coca-Cola, which is the birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we want to wish you a speedy recovery. And, of course, we give a big shout-out this morning to our colleague right here at Radio Cayman, none other than Mr. Joel Wilson. So, before we go to our first caller, let's look at the birthdays being celebrated today. And, of course, again, birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola. Caitlin Eppelstone, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Eppelstone, celebrating a birthday today, the 5th of December. Miss Joy Basdeo, also celebrating a birthday today. Joy Watson celebrating a birthday today, as well as Rochelle Dilbert. Yesterday, also Miss Julie Brown. Julie Brown celebrating a birthday today. Yesterday, we had Kirk Watson celebrating a birthday. Aisha Connell also celebrating a birthday yesterday. Derek Banks and Deal Ebanks. Coming up on Sunday, Miss June Lee Brooks will be celebrating her birthday. Miss Doreen Ross, also Doreen Ross and Julian Brooks on Sunday. Tomorrow, Betty Ann Beckford, Morna Richardson Scott, and Makita Ebanks Miller celebrating birthdays tomorrow as well. And again, to remind you that For the Record birthday shout-outs brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-outs. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands. You should accept no substitutes. Share a Coke with someone special. Let's go to our phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Yeah, I gotten some calls there to say for a minute I was losing my title.
Yeah. You missed one day or 2 days? 1 day, I believe it was.
Yeah. So I had to reestablish myself.
Okay.
I'm going to test your knowledge just a little bit, and then I go into what I want to say. The name Matilda Corner, cannot find out. I haven't contacted Dr. McFeely yet. I tried, but I couldn't. Where did that name come from?
I believe it was copied from, there's a Matilda Corner in Jamaica, Kingston, Jamaica, and it was copied, from that. I believe that those persons who hung out on Matilda Corner were quite familiar with the Matilda Corner in Jamaica.
So it was an adopted name then?
Right, yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's my take on it. That's my take.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you're that old. You're old enough to know about it.
Yeah, I spent a few fun Sunday mornings and Saturdays down on Matilda Corner myself.
Yeah, that was the place. You had to be a big man but you had to be a big man to hang out there.
Oh yes.
Yeah. They didn't allow boys coming around. Yeah. So we'll see. I hear, very politician coming on your show and trying to scare people, talking about the immigration reforms will make Caymanians lose jobs. I think we have this island have created more jobs for outsiders than natives, more high-end jobs for outsiders than natives, right? So the jobs that we're going to lose is that the jobs where our kids come home with bachelors, associates, masters, and sit on their parents' sofa and send out resumes not to get an answer, or when they do inquire, the job was already given to a work permit person who we know in the first place that would design and earmark for that particular person. So the jobs that they're scaring us about, we're going to lose. I don't see that, OC, because we have thousands of people sleeping at the airports waiting to come here on a temporary, 3 month. You're going to leave and take 3 days, OC, to come to a place where you're only going to get a permit for 3 months. And we're scared to lose them, to lose those type of people, when right now the work permit board haven't met for quite some time. So there's a huge backlog now waiting for the board to come and meet. So I don't know why they keep scaring us about we're going to lose this and we're going to lose this. The next thing, because where they're going to go? Is there somewhere that competing majorly at a major level for the jobs that we have here? We also like to always compare ourselves or talk about Constitution. Oh, we wish we could get a Bermuda Constitution. We wish we could be like Singapore. Oh, so we got section 16, subsection 4 in our Constitution, and we can't even. We're
not utilizing that the way we should.
Utilize that, and we're talking about the more strenuous one. They're talking about Singapore. Or see where chewing gum can get you keen. We got people dumping truckloads of garbage, and we can't control them. Talking about chewing gum, on the street. Yeah. So
if I could,
we need to stop and try and utilize the laws or police the laws that we do have, and stop trying to scare everybody using just for political gain. I think it is to scare the people, and then they come with a nice program so that we can have enough money in our pocket to receive our sympathy from a bottle of wine, because most of the people that they do that to is people that they keep hungry. and then they come with their hands out with their spare part and money. See that have to stop, because we do have enough jobs here for all of our people to be employed, and stop talking about we going to run people away, because long before those people came here, we were here. And I think a lot of us can say that a lot of us were doing much better back then, because I remember a lot of the banks had people as far up as bank managers. All the condos was managed by Caymanians. Hotels were managed by Caymanians that we could always go to, and all the line people at the banks were girls that we knew. So we have already taken away the jobs from Caymanians. So don't talk about if we do certain things, we gotta run them away and they're gonna take our jobs. They already came and take all the jobs. So they need to stop using that one. And the receiving the sympathy from a bottle of wine. Or see, you ever wonder why some of our people are down and out and receiving their sympathy from a bottle of wine? I tell you what, you will see, you put on your best suit, white shirt and tie, and you go downtown and stand in line for a job washing dishes, you may not qualify, my friend.
Oh, yeah, that is quite possible.
You may not qualify.
They'll say I'm overqualified.
Overqualified.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah,
you see what I mean?
Okay.
And then our people with the masters and the associates, we tell them to go and get educated or see, but as soon as they get that, then what happened? They don't have enough experience.
Yeah. Gotta go to a commercial break, Lord Graham. Thank you
right.
Very much. If you have any questions about the avian flu, send them in on your WhatsApp, because we're going to have Mr. Wilbur Welcome, who's the director of the Department of Agriculture, as well as the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hilary Wolf, in the studio with us after the 8 o'clock news. So if you have any questions, send them in there. They're going to be here for about 45 minutes with us. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Following World War II, air transportation made its debut in the Cayman Islands with the first seaplanes landing in the North Sound. The PBY Catalina seaplanes arrived thanks to the efforts of King Parker Jr. from Tampa, who piloted the first passenger planes with his wife as the stewardess. In 1947, Parker sold his interest to a group led by Owen Bobby Roberts. Roberts would later spearhead the lobbying campaign for funding for the Georgetown Airport, which officially opened in March 1954. The airport was aptly named Owen Roberts Airfield in honor of Roberts, who tragically was killed when his plane crashed on takeoff a year earlier.
Since 1993, Rotary Central has worked diligently each year to provide quality bus shelters to our community. A traveling convenience to our school children, the elderly, young people going to work, guest workers, and visitors using the public bus. We, Rotary Central, help you, our advertisers, make it happen. Your marketing dollar travels a far way. Positioning your message, your product, your services, your presence in over 83 bus shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our Custom Closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
This summer, happiness is better when you share it. Coca-Cola invites you to share a Coke with someone special. Grab an ice-cold Coke and find a name. Maybe theirs, maybe yours, maybe a surprise. Because nothing says you matter like sharing a smile and a Coke. So who will you share a Coke with today? Find your name, find your friends, and share a Coke. Available now. Stores island-wide.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In about 8 minutes, we will be returning to our 8 o'clock news. Meanwhile, I do have a few more birthday greetings that I have been asked to share. And first of all, Miss Donna Bryan. Of course, on Wednesday, we thought it was her birthday. The information that we received that it was on Wednesday, so we wished her a happy birthday on Wednesday, only to find out that it was on Thursday. So we said, of course, then on Friday, we will wish her a happy belated birthday as well. So she's getting lots and lots of birthday shout-outs. Again, Miss Donna, hope you enjoyed your very special day. This person says, today is my youngest grandchild's birthday, celebrating 15 years. She's the youngest of 21. Wow. Happy birthday, Sienna. We all love you. Enjoy your special day. Grammy Donna. So, Sienna, enjoy your special day coming from all of the family, but in particular, Grammy Donna. Have another one here as well. This person is asking to please send birthday greetings to O'Neill Minzett and Martha Robinson. They both celebrated their birthdays yesterday, so happy belated birthday. Ms. Martha Robinson was 89 years young. Greetings coming from the Minzett, Solomon, and Robinson family from Dallas. And those of you who don't know what Dallas signifies, District of Bontown was once referred to as Dallas. It wasn't really a complimentary name that was given to the district, but because of certain occurrences that were taken took place in that district at the time. That is why it was called Dallas. Let me make sure that I have covered all of the birthday greetings. Yes, here is one more. This person is asking to send birthday greetings to my son, Delon Miles, wishing him a wonderful day and many more to enjoy. Greetings coming from his mom, Paula. So, Miss Paula Scott. Birthday greetings going out to her son, Delon Miles, as well. If you know anyone else, here's another one. We see Sienna's 15th birthday today as well. And of course, Sienna is the daughter of Deputy Leader of the Opposition, Mr. Kenneth Bryan. So he wants to wish his daughter happy 15th birthday today as well. I believe we do have a caller. Let's grab that caller before we reach the 8 o'clock news. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, we'll see how you're doing today.
I'm fine. Morning. How are you?
Yeah, hanging in there. Having a little issues with your numbers there, but anyhow, they're going to get it sorted, as they say. I noticed at the 69, 949, I think it is, that don't work too good. But I listened to Graham. He sounds like he 80 years old and 90 because he telling you, asking you about Matilda Corner. He might be older than Methuselah, man. But yeah, most of them men there that was started Matilda Corner kind of way. I live from Matilda Corner. They used to hang out down there in Jamaica, and they had a Matilda Corner down there as well. So when they came back there to the Northern Bar, they just used to call it Mr. Alvis Smith Bar before, you know. And then when the men started coming back, they used to say, well, you know, I used to go Matilda Corner too in Jamaica, you know. And then that's when that Matilda Corner name started, you know. So,
yep, that's exactly what I told Graham. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how it was. That's how it started, you know. But tell Graham I say happy birthday on his 80th birthday, man.
I'm sure he's listening. Sure he's listening. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll see. Have a good weekend.
Okay, thank you. You do the same as well. I had a few comments from some of our listeners, and this one came all the way from the United Kingdom, and the person wrote and shared an article from the Compass. Police commissioner promises clampdown on abject driving in Cayman, and I'll share with you the meaning of abject in a minute as well. Says the person wrote and said, offending drivers will slow down when approaching a known stand-alone speed camera location, and then speed up afterwards. They say that the best deterrent against speeding, they suggest, is an average speed system which will time vehicles from point A to point B based on electronic license plate tracking. And of course, I believe we have electronic license plates in the Cayman Islands, and some readers, I believe, as well. So then the person goes on to say, of course, there will be some people opposed to this sort of tracking for privacy reasons. But we should have very little expectation of privacy in public spaces, as well. And that is so true. That is so true. Very little expectation of privacy in public places. And we see where businesses and other establishments will have cameras pointing, to the public roads. They will have them inside of their facilities as well. And, for the sake of our safety, sometimes we have to cede. We have to concede some of those privacy issues as well. I'm sure that there are persons who will disagree, with that. But life in itself involves the art of compromise. So sometimes you have to give up something to get something else, and one has to determine which they value more, which one they value more as well. So folks, with that, we are going to go to our 8 o'clock news. Don't forget, when we return, we will have Chief Medical Officer Dr. Hilary Wolf and the Director of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Wilbur Welcome, in the studio with us, talking about the H5N1 avian flu response in the Cayman Islands, which has been extremely swift. But I am sure that, with anything else, all of the best plans in the world, there's always something that can happen to throw those off track. So we want to hear about the quick response and the results that they are getting as well. And don't forget, if you have any questions or comments, please send them to our WhatsApp number, because they're only going to be here for about 45 minutes. That WhatsApp number, 925-3261. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you very much, Mr. Connor. Radio Cayman time check now, 8:01. This time check brought to you by our friends at Foster's.
Fill your cart and win! It's the 30K Jolly Grocery Giveaway at Foster's. This Christmas, we're spreading some holly jolly cheer by filling one lucky shopper's cart with $10,000 worth of groceries. Just purchase any 2 specially marked products from now until December 24th for a chance to win your share of $30,000 worth of groceries. Go to fosters.ky/jolly for more info. Thanks to Coca-Cola, Monster Energy, Fiji, Corona Cero, the best dressed chicken. Have a holly jolly Christmas at Foster's.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Cayman Islands government is moving forward with several key initiatives following its 21st of November cabinet meeting. As Radio Cayman's April Cummings reports, the decision includes new vehicle safety standards and infrastructure projects.
The meeting summary shows 21 decisions or items. On the transportation front, Cabinet approved the implementation of new vehicle safety standards for the islands, along with related regulatory framework. The traffic amendment regulations and electronic vehicle registration regulations have also been approved for parliamentary presentation. Infrastructure projects received Cabinet green light as well. 2 coastal works permits for dock construction were issued. Cabinet also noted the 7 Mile Beach Nourishment Project, but no details were provided in the summary. Cabinet approved the installation of 4 unoccupied automated weather observing systems, 2 in Grand Cayman, 1 each in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. On the regulatory side, Cabinet approved new tax compliance measures, which we reported on recently right here on Radio Cayman, including amendments to common reporting standards and a new crypto asset reporting framework. The Cabinet also finalized appointments to key government bodies, including the Stock Exchange Council and the Public Transport Appeals Tribunal. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
Around 30 kilos of suspected cocaine and more than 100 pounds of ganja have been taken out of circulation in 2 separate cases in Little Cayman and Georgetown. Radio Cayman's Dion Anglin has the details.
On Tuesday, people walking along Guy Banks Road on Little Cayman spotted a large number of suspicious packages. They called police, who discovered what appeared to be cocaine weighing in at about 30 kilos with an estimated street value of more than 150,000 Cayman Islands dollars. The drugs were flown to Grand Cayman by the police air unit and was destroyed. The incident follows another drug haul, this one on Grand Cayman in Windsor Park on November 12th, when officers seized approximately 147 pounds worth of ganja. A 49-year-old Georgetown man is under arrest on suspicion of possession and consumption of ganja and possession with intent to supply. He's now on bail while the investigation continues. Reporting for Radio Cayman News, I'm Dion Anglin.
And police are investigating 2 armed robberies on the weekend. On Saturday, shortly after 5:20 p.m., a man with a machete robbed a restaurant on Stadium Drive in West Bay, taking the cash register before heading off towards Scholars Park. Officers recovered the register nearby. No injuries were reported. The day before that, November 28th, around 2:40, a masked man waving what looked to be a gun tried to steal jewelry from a worker at a Georgetown grocery store on Rockall Road, but had to flee empty-handed after a struggle. Now with the check of international news, here's the BBC, which takes us out of the newscast. I'm Carsley Fuller.
BBC News with Jane Steele. India's biggest airline, Indigo, has apologised to all its passengers after it cancelled hundreds of flights, causing chaos at major Indian airports. The airline says the disruption was triggered by new working hours restrictions imposed on pilots. President Putin says Russia is ready to provide uninterrupted fuel supplies for India as Delhi faces heavy pressure to stop buying oil from Moscow. Mr. Putin met Prime Minister Narendra Modi during a state visit. The largest study into the impact of deep-sea mining has confirmed it causes significant damage to animal life on the ocean floor. The research found that the number of animals was reduced by 37% in mined areas. Netflix is reported to be in exclusive talks to buy Warner Brothers' profitable streaming and studio business in a deal that could reshape the media landscape. Warner Brothers owns the streaming service HBO Max and franchises including Harry Potter and Game of Thrones. The German Parliament has voted in favour of reinstating military service. It will be voluntary but could be made compulsory with the approval of Parliament if there are too few volunteers. Reports from Burkina Faso say that 8 members of a humanitarian organisation based in the Netherlands have been freed. They were arrested in October accused of spying and treason. The international NGO safety organisation provides information to aid workers. Emergency warnings are in place across Greece as a powerful storm causes major disruption. Byron has brought heavy rains to much of Greece. Attica, the Peloponnese, Crete and several Aegean islands are worst hit, with 30,000 lightning strikes recorded in just 2 hours. BBC News.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Starting January 1, 2026, the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands will increase to CI $8.75 per hour. This change is designed to ensure fair pay and to support workers across the islands. Whether you're an employee or an employer, it is important to understand how this adjustment affects you. Learn more about the new rate, how it's applied, and what it means for your workplace by visiting gov.ky/DLP or email minimumwage@gov.ky.
The Super American Circus is back in Grand Cayman, December 5th to 7th at the Lions Center Christmas Village. Experience jaw-dropping aerial ballet, thrilling high-wire acts, acrobats, a BMX stunt team, comedy, clowns, and non-stop holiday magic. It's 45 minutes of fun and excitement for all ages, supporting acts of random kindness and one-to-one charities. 8 shows, 3 days. Get your tickets now at ticketsplus.ky or eventpro.ky. The Super American Circus, where holiday magic meets world-class entertainment.
The Super American Circus, presented by the Ministry of Caymanian Employment and Immigration and supported by the Ministry of Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, Coca-Cola, the Ministry of Education and Training, Monster AI, What's on Cayman, Crystal K, Bubbles and Giggles, and Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcade, where people come first.
Once again, good morning, Cayman. Just about 9 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let's take a look at your weather. Nice sunny conditions on the outside with some partial cloud cover. Present temperature now 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds are out of the east-northeast at 7 miles per hour. Relative humidity about 89%. The barometric pressure is at 29.97 inches and falling. Synopsis as provided by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. Some isolated showers remain likely throughout the morning as a surface trough drifts across the Western Caribbean today. Some residual moisture is expected to linger close by through Saturday, maintaining the chance for some showers at times early this weekend. Satellite analysis indicates scattered patches of low-level clouds with some isolated convection noted south. Our forecast calls for partly cloudy skies becoming cloudy at times with a 40% chance of showers this morning. Temperatures will rise near the mid to upper 80s with a heat index near 97 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Later tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be easterly at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. High tide is coming up at 10:15 this morning. It's going to be low at 4:22 this afternoon and high at 9:28 tonight. Sunset this evening will be at 5:45, and the outlook is for a decrease in cloudiness and chances of showers from Saturday afternoon as the trough moves into the Bay of Honduras. A gradual decrease in winds and seas are also expected as the winds begin to veer east-southeast through the weekend as a ridge of high pressure builds across the central Atlantic. Now, my friends, is the latest weather brought to you by our friends at CG Britcay.
On Angie, how does it feel to have broken the bull riding world record?
Sore, Sean. That bull was angry.
Angie, I think that bull is headed towards your red convertible.
I broke the world record and he broke my car. Oh well, at least I've got CG Comprehensive Motor to cover this.
Get covered for collision, damage, and more. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
The 8 a.m. weather update brought to you by
CG Britcay, where people come first.
Hello, family. This is for you. The latest iPhone is here, and you're getting the sweetest deal ever. The iPhone 17 at Apple Store prices. No need to trouble the family abroad or stress about bringing a phone through customs. Simply get a Flowmania 1 gig and get the new iPhone 17 Pro Max at $29 per month with a down payment of $299. Only on Cayman's largest 5G network. Terms and conditions apply.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Yeah, good Friday morning, Cayman. Let's take a look at the traffic situation right now. Most of the traffic coming out of the east-west arterial area or eastern districts have cleared up in that area. But of course, traffic is still going on along the Linford Pearson and also on Crew Road, Bobby Thompson Way as well. Seeing some traffic congestion at the four-way stop. Some traffic as well going through South Sound and through Walker's Road. Seeing some traffic. Also seeing some moderate traffic, slow moving, going through the Windsor Park area, leading out to Smith Road and Walker's Road all the way up to heading back to the hospital side. Of course, South Church Streets, also seeing some traffic pouring in into Seafarers Way and continuing northward bound. No cruise ships in port, so not much pedestrian movement. Most streets inside Georgetown, of course, taking in the influx of traffic. Alder Avenue, quite slow moving traffic as well, still up to the CNB roundabout. Thomas Russell Way up to the Butterfield roundabout. Of course, we do see traffic in that area. North Sound Road, bit of traffic heading east towards Industrial Park. Dorsey Drive, seeing some traffic. But of course, all of this dissipates as the morning progresses. West Bay Road, looking up from the Ritz-Carlton, things are flowing smoothly. West Bay itself, traffic is moving smoothly in that district. Smooth traffic in Eastern, smooth traffic in Northside, smooth traffic in the Savannah Breakers area. But of course, the majority of traffic still pouring into the Georgetown area. Not going to ease up until about 30 minutes or so. So enjoy your commute. Yeah, the traffic is a bit of a headache, but you'll get around. Buckle up and stay safe, my friends. Look out for pedestrians, those on e-scooters, e-bikes, motorbikes, bicycles, and have yourself a great day and weekend. The traffic report brought to you by our good friends at Subway.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of an early office closure at the Grand Cayman office on Friday, 5th December 2025 to facilitate a staff function. Cashiers will close at 11 a.m. The office will close at 12 p.m. The Cayman Brac Customer Service Office will remain open for regular hours. The Grand Cayman office will reopen for regular business hours on Monday, 8th December 2025. The authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
Craving something bold, juicy, and packed with flavor? Introducing KFC's new crispy barbecue sandwich served on a soft, buttery brioche bun. That's 100% KFC premium chicken breast, perfectly crispy, deliciously smoky with crispy onions, cheddar cheese, and barbecue sauce. Just the right amount of messy in the best way possible. Stacked with layers of bold KFC flavor, this sandwich is your new obsession. But hurry, it's only at KFC for a limited time. So what are you waiting for? Get yours today at any of the 3 KFC locations on island. KFC, finger licking good, just got bolder.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning. As I said earlier, we would have the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hilary Wolf, in the studio with us. Also, the Director of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Wilbur. Welcome. Now, Dr. Wolf, newly arrived on the island, and we were hoping to get an opportunity for her to join us with the former Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Nick Gent, but that didn't occur. And since his appointment as Director of the Department of Agriculture, I haven't had Mr. Welcome on the show either. I've been giving him a shout out on the radio, congratulating him on his promotion as well. So first of all, I want to give each of them an opportunity to have some opening comments and talk about their role as Chief Medical Officer and Director of the Department of Agriculture, respectively. Meanwhile, just a little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions or comments in relation to the avian flu, or any other question for the Chief Medical Officer or the Director of Agriculture, please send them to a WhatsApp number. That number, 925-3261, because we simply won't have enough time to take calls this morning. So please send any questions or comments to us as well. With that, I want to say good morning. Welcome to our guests. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us.
Okay, we're going to start with you, Dr. Wolf. And again, welcome to the Cayman Islands. And tell our listening and viewing audience something about yourself.
Thanks so much. It's really wonderful to be here with you today. So I am originally from the United States. I grew up in New York City, born and raised. Been working in global health for quite some time, specifically on public health, trying to prevent disease and contain. And it's just wonderful to be here on the Cayman Islands and really work within the close-knit community. I'm really working on building my relationships with the folks here so I can really be as effective as possible. Really, my goal is to just keep the people of the island as healthy as possible and safe, and would love to meet you in person and say hi. So please don't hesitate.
Okay. Mr. Welcome.
Morning again. So I'm the Director of the Department of Agriculture. Been been in the civil service quite a while now, so most people know me from previous roles perhaps, but found a nice home in Lower Valley, started there in June, and loving every minute of it. So if you're not currently a farmer, I always give a plug. Please become a farmer, grow something, anything at all. So looking forward to seeing more farmers come out.
Excellent, excellent. So, folks, let's talk about the core message that we want to convey this morning, as far as the avian flu is concerned.
Sure. I think just from a health perspective, really the risk of avian influenza to humans, to the general population, remains low. We've worked really hard once we heard about this case on November 28th at a single farm in some turkeys, worked really hard to contain it. And my colleague here will go into more detail about that, but that all of the people who may have had any exposure, they've been tested, they've been put on antiviral prophylaxis, and they all remain asymptomatic. And so we have had no human cases of H5N1, avian influenza, in the Cayman Islands, and we were going to keep it that way.
Excellent, excellent. So the first confirmed cases of it, Mr. Welcome, can you speak to that?
Yeah, so on November 28th, which would have been last week Friday, and just to note, that was the event of the day of the department's social Christmas event.
Wow.
So kudos to the staff at the vet services team who handled the case. They went out to a farm on the call of a local farmer, tested an initial set of birds. We got the positive results back later that day. And again, it's been tremendous, the multi-agency approach we have here. We're working with a local lab who is turning around tests in what I would call record time. So we had an initial case on the 28th. We went back the next day on the 29th to begin depopulation and also additional samples. So just to say what those numbers look like, we had 8 positive cases from that individual farm. And again, I want to make it clear that all of the positive cases we've had are only from that location.
Okay.
We depopulated approximately 69 birds of different species. I won't break that down right now unless someone specifically wants it, but that depopulation occurred over the 29th and 30th and a little bit into December 1st. So right now where we are with that local farm is we're finalizing decontamination, which is removal of some of the soil in one of the coops that we don't think are getting enough sunlight to ensure it's decontaminated. And also we have some access and intra protocols there. But we've taken samples from other birds, other animals. So specifically on that farm, we've taken samples from 22 goats, 1 head of cattle. We've tested them twice. They've come back negative twice. And as we get calls around the island, we are also taking additional samples. So I think last count, we're close to 100 samples that have been tested, and everything else has come back negative. So again, we're here to share information and not alarm the public. As Doc said, the risk to the general public remains very low. From an agricultural point of view now, we're focused on ensuring our farmers have biosecurity measures to ensure that they protect their farms, because as been publicized, we believe this is potentially originated from migratory birds. And again, our particular circumstance is unique with the feral chickens we have here on island, the ability for them to contract it and then spread it. So we're really working with our farmers to ensure they have their biosecurity measures up and running, their foot baths, covered water for their birds and animals, those type of things. So that's really where the focus is now.
And based on your experience in this particular case, have you identified any changes that need to be made, any additional protocols that may need to be put in place as far as farmers are concerned? Because, while the emphasis is on food security in the Cayman Islands, and we know that the government is encouraging more and more farming, to take place, we want to ensure that that is done safely, as well. Can you speak to any additional measures that may be implemented as a result of this incident? Sorry.
So in particular, again, we've always recommended it, but we'll be looking at more stringent enforcement of it. So there's things such as foot baths that poultry farms should have, when you're entering and exiting the coop. And one of the impetuses for this is our Nest program, which we've talked a lot about. We've poured a lot of resources into getting up and running, where we have certified eggs being sold in grocery stores. They have the necessary standards and biosecurity measures to ensure their poultry and their eggs are okay.
Mm-hmm.
And where we want to get to is where all poultry farmers are at that same level with their biosecurity measures. So we will be coming around. We do have a poultry extension officer who will be coming around more often to poultry farms especially. But it's not just poultry farms. All farms should be at best as possible in implementing their biosecurity measures, because at the end of the day, they want to protect their livestock as well as their plants and their crops. So it's very important that they take it seriously. I know there's a small upfront investment and ongoing work to keep it running, but it is worth the investment to protect your farming endeavor. I know most people here start off farming for fun, but at the end of the day, most of the produce and products are sold here.
Mm-hmm.
So we really are taking this serious, and we'll be doing a lot of extension work to our farmers to make sure they're up to speed on what they need to do and how to do it.
Okay, Dr. Wolf, anything you want to add there?
Yeah, I think we really are just trying to take the correct precautionary measures so that we don't see additional outbreaks coming in the future. And so making sure that we're not, moving animals from one farm to another, moving, decontaminating as visitors come in and out and things like that. We want to contain any animals or products that are in one place. We want to contain in that one area so that it doesn't then, if for some reason there is bird flu, we don't then spread it to other farms in the area.
Okay. Still have 4 minutes before we go to a first commercial break. And I believe that you answered this already. One of our listeners wanted to know whether or not the H5N1 virus, has been detected in feral chickens to date.
So some of those 8 positive cases that I've mentioned would have been not only in chickens that the farmer kept as coop chickens, but yes, would have been in some of the feral chickens that were depopulated on site.
Specifically on that farm.
On that farm.
So we have tested feral chickens that we've trapped or suspicious deaths or have ailments over the past few days. So we have sampled various feral chickens and different animals across the islands. And I say islands because just up to yesterday, I think we got a Merlin from Little Cayman who had a suspicious death. So it was sampled as well. So we have sampled from various other animals across the island, and all have been negative. However, on that particular farm, there were feral chickens included in those positives.
Okay. Any advice that you would give to individuals who may notice, as far as feral chickens are concerned? I'm sure that almost everyone have them in their yards, and anything that they should be aware of, that they should take notice of, and then if they do, what should they do as well? Paul, do you want me to come to you for the commercial break now, or wait until this answer? So we're going to go to commercial break. This will give you an opportunity to prepare to answer that. Not that you need any preparation, of course. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Hey, new drivers. Don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
At Kirk's Home Center, we can make your life much better. We got it all together. We got a great deal in store for you. From cookware to stereos, from power tools to plumbing supplies. Yeah, we got the best goods with the best price and a service to make you smile. Kirk's Home Center, we got a great deal in store for you.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Hello, Cayman Islands. Warm greetings from St. Martin. This year's Miss Caribbean pageant will be held on December 5th at the Alizé Convention Center in St. Martin. Join us live at 8 p.m. on our brand new YouTube channel for full coverage. Let's come together and support our queens. The Miss Caribbean Hibiscus pageant, December 5th at the Alizé Convention Center in St. Martin.
Mystical and enchanting.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we have in the studio the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Hilary Wolf, and the Director of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Wilbur Welcome. We're talking about the H5N1 avian flu response in the Cayman Islands. And before we go on to the question that I asked prior to going to the commercial break, I think Mr. Welcome, as well as Dr. Wolf, will sort of give an explanation as to the testing procedure, how it is actually conducted.
Yeah. So we mentioned earlier that we had 8 positive cases. So just to confirm, like you said, how sampling is done in those scenarios is you would swab multiple birds, and that could be one sample. So again, the 8 positive cases could reflect more or less birds. And this is the international standard. This isn't anything we're doing out of the norm. So the team would go out, for example, on the farm on Friday when the original call was made, and they would swab 4 or 5 birds. That would be one sample. They'd swab another 4 or 5 birds. That could be another sample. And then those samples are tested at the lab, and we would get the number of positive cases. So I say that to say that, it could be more number of birds than the 8 positive cases. But we know we have 8 positive cases. But again, the message we have here today is that the only positive cases we have are from birds tested on that location. We've done multiple tests of different birds, different mammals in different locations, and they've all come back negative thus far. So just up to last night or this morning, results came back on at least 6 other samples that, again, were negative, ranging from, goats in East End to chickens in Georgetown. And so the testing continues. And again, this leads into the question you had before about how we come out and test. So typically, and in general, farmers call us when they see any signs of health issues with their animals. Since the outbreak, what we've also asked from the general public as well is if you see any signs in feral chickens, so signs such as, multiple deaths in a group of chickens, unexplained. Now, we know chickens, because of the number we have here, some will get hit by cars and in the middle of the road. We wouldn't call that unexplained. But if you see multiple deaths, so if you have chickens in your yard and you see 4 or 5 of them dead in your backyard, please do not touch them. Please do not approach them. Please contact the DOA. You can call 947-3090 or 916-7146. We will organize collection and sampling and proper disposal of them. So things like respiratory issues in birds as well. So if you see breathing problems in your chickens, lethargy in your birds, and again, this is birds you own or even feral chickens. As we mentioned before, feral chickens are especially symptomatic to the disease. So if they have it, you would usually see signs that they have it. So that's why we're asking for more reporting as part of our ongoing surveillance around the farm as well as throughout the Cayman Islands to see if we have any other instances that could potentially be this. I will say, because we recently had some rains, there's also some other diseases that crop up with that in birds. So we are testing everything. So we're trying not to alarm people. We want them to alert us. But there are other causes for dead birds as well. So on that note, what we would also advise is if people can avoid the feral chicken as best as possible. I know some people feed them, but we're asking, please, especially over the next 10 to 21 days, please avoid the feral chickens, because the virus could be incubated in them and they've not presented symptoms yet. So we're asking people not to feed them, not to interact with them, because that is how you can contract the disease, by interaction with birds that have the virus. Now, again, as Doc said, human transmission is relatively or very low, but we don't want people out there taking the risk if they don't have to.
Precisely. Dr. Wolf?
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that don't feed the feral chickens, but also don't feed any wild birds. And we really want to make sure that folks who have chickens on their farms, that they separate them from any wild birds, because really, while the chickens can get sick, this infection is coming from migratory birds that then can transmit it to the wild birds in the area. And it's unlikely, they're less likely to show symptoms, and so as opposed to the feral chickens. So I think really not feeding any of the wild birds or chickens. Don't go near them. Call the number if you see them sick or dead, and keep your distance. Practice really good hand hygiene, washing hands thoroughly and frequently with soap and water. Especially if there's any potential contact with birds or droppings, and really make sure you monitor your children in outdoor spaces who are playing.
Okay, while you have the mic, Dr. Wolf, let's talk about the coordinated response. Of course, hazard management, was in the middle of that in terms of helping with the coordination, while they would not have been the lead agency. And getting it from some fresh eyes, you just being here, would like you to comment on the response so far.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's actually been quite amazing. We had an initial call with agriculture the morning that this occurred, and immediately we got hazard management involved, and they've been coordinating all of the different agencies and departments, and it's been really phenomenal. The interconnectedness and connection and communication that has occurred has just been phenomenal. The one voice that we've all been speaking with, I've been incredibly impressed. I've seen other outbreaks occur in the past, and it has not been coordinated in this way. And I would just give a huge kudos to the hazard management team for all of the coordination that they've done so far. And for me personally, I think everyone keeps saying trial by fire. And it's just been wonderful to be able to start building relationships with my colleagues. And now, I call them all on WhatsApp, and we're becoming a family. So, yeah, it's been wonderful.
And the level of communication with the public in general, but specifically with farmers, how has that worked?
Well, I would just like to echo CMO's message before we go into that. Hazard management has been fantastic. From the time we call them to coordinate the groups and the various agencies, they have been kudos to them. And to Doc's point, I now have her number as well, so we will be calling her as needed, or sometimes maybe not as needed. But yeah, it has been a wonderful team effort to get this done. Regarding comms, again, hazard management has been coordinating comms as well. And the reason for that is we don't want individual agencies going out and potentially giving different messages. Yes. So hazard management coordinates that through the Department of Comms. So I know the media may feel a little frustrated at times that, they're reaching out to the departments and getting all referred back to the Department of Comms. But that is the protocol to ensure that there's one single unified message going out, as opposed to various bits and pieces going out from different departments, and then it's being put together to reflect the message we don't want to send.
Yeah. Well, one of our listeners has written about feral chickens and says feral chickens became widespread since Hurricane Ivan 21 years ago, and it is well known that they are disease carriers. Why have they been allowed to multiply to the extent that they are now allowed around? Now that they are around our business and tourist establishments to the extent that they defecate on pavements around restaurants. Tourists are often in these areas, and it is unhygienic, of course, not only to tourists, but to our local population, as well. And then they ask the question, are there any plans to cull and limit these species?
So we have proposals that we are actively working on to control the feral chicken population. I cannot go into details on those right now, but we are working on various control programs to the caller's point, or to the question, as well as to our original comments here. We do think the feral chickens here present a unique challenge for us to contain any potential future spread of avian flu. We think we have this one relatively contained based on the samples we've taken, but we continue to take samples and undertake surveillance and monitoring. But to the question, yes, we do have plans or proposals for control of the feral chickens. I just want to add that
sure.
I know the person touched on tourism all briefly, but once the word tourism is raised, I just want to say that at this point, we don't anticipate issuing any type of travel advisories. As I've mentioned, and we've mentioned throughout this conversation, right now, all of the positives are contained to this one location. We've not had any positives anywhere else. Right now, we're in a surveillance and monitoring mode, as well as supporting our farmers in enhancing their biosecurity measures, as well as, like I mentioned, working on the proposals to control the feral chicken population.
Okay. So let's talk about...
Can I just add one thing?
Sure, Doc.
Sorry. I just want to say that the testing has been phenomenal. I mean, we've tested hundreds of samples since this happened, and the lab is churning out the samples within hours. And if it's a very concerning sample, they are prioritizing it. So I just wanted to give a huge kudos out to our lab colleagues for the tremendous work that they've done so far.
Okay. So let's address some of the possible public concerns, like the question, is this a start of a pandemic? What do we say to them?
No, definitely not the start of a pandemic. As has been said, human transmission is quite rare, and if it does occur, it's limited to direct contact with infected animals. They've seen isolated cases in other countries, especially in the U.S., Canada, but we have not seen transmission from person to person. We've learned, the reason why we're acting the way we are is we've learned from prior pandemics that it's always important to act proactively. And I think this group of interconnected multidisciplinary agencies and departments has done such an amazing job acting proactively. And just to reinforce that the risk to the general public remains low, and there are no reports of residents having contracted.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we return, we're going to talk about some of those other possible public concerns, like, are my eggs and my chickens safe? What about tourism? But we heard Director Welcome address that issue already. What about the local agriculture sector as well? And we will have some answers to those questions as well as soon as we return from this commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of this segment with Dr. Hilary Wolf and the Director of Agriculture, Mr. Wilbur. Welcome. Before we go to those questions, Dr. Wolf, off air we were talking about testing procedures, and you made a revelation off air that I would like for you to share with our listeners and viewers as well.
Sure, no, happy to. I was just saying that I've been speaking with the other chief medical officers at the other UK overseas territories and stressed to us that we're actually the only territory that has the capacity to do the testing on island. And so they would not be in the same place that we're in right now because our lab is turning these samples around so quickly that we actually have real-time knowledge of where we are with this outbreak. And so it just shows how fortunate we are.
Okay, Mr. Welcome, anything you want to add to that?
Indeed, I can only echo those comments. The lab has been fantastic. I mean, so much so that not only DOA staff were sampling, but we also trained other agencies to sample. So I know they've been getting a ton of samples every day, and some way, shape, or form, they are turning them around within 24 hours. I'm seeing the results come back. So kudos to the lab is all I can say. Wonderful job on behalf of the HSA and that team over there.
Okay, so some other public concerns. A question, are my eggs and chicken safe?
So just to confirm, food is completely safe to consume so long as it's cooked properly. Mm-hmm. And that means to 70 degrees Celsius or 165 degrees Fahrenheit. However, I want to emphasize that if you are handling eggs, you need to be sure to wash your hands appropriately afterwards. So washing your hands with soap and potentially some disinfectant afterward. But yes, the food is good to consume so long as it is cooked. Please don't consume any raw meat or raw eggs. We are also working on a standstill order for the movement of birds in the area. Okay. So we will be making that announcement shortly, but I just wanted to, in general, alert the community. And what that would look like is poultry farms in the area not moving their birds for a certain period of time. But yes, they are safe to eat. Eggs are safe to eat. And poultry is safe to eat. As I mentioned earlier, we have a NEST program where those farmers are certified on the biosecurity measures they're doing. So they're washing their eggs, they're sanitizing, they're storing them at the right temperatures. So we are certain that they have the protocols in place. So you will still see those eggs in the marketplace. So please continue to purchase and utilize our local products. We just ask that you take care to cook them before you consume them, and also to wash your hands appropriately after handling, especially eggs.
Okay. Anything you want to add, Dr. Wolf?
I think Mr. Wilbur covered it, but I think just to say that ensure that those meat juices run clear, not pink, cooking to internal temperatures of 70 degrees Celsius or 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
And just to confirm, we're talking about local birds. So the poultry for sale in supermarkets is typically imported, packaged overseas. It comes that way. So we're not talking about those meats. We're talking about local birds and local eggs. Yeah.
Okay. What about our local agriculture section? Our sector? What is being done there?
So I've briefly mentioned our NEST certified farmers. But just to say, we'll be working with all our farmers to ensure that their biosecurity measures are up to the requisite standard for the farming activities taking place on their farms. The other thing we've been working with our farmers is just general communication and updates. So we had a virtual meeting earlier this week. There's another one today, albeit on a different topic, which is sorrel and certain diseases to sorrel. So if you're in the sorrel business, please give us a call. And if you don't have the Zoom link, please let us know. And we'll be having another one tomorrow on livestock sector. So if you're not in our communication channels, please give us a call, 947-3090. Let us know your information. Let us know you want to be on our distribution list. You will get those emails and our WhatsApps as they go out. The aim of our meetings is to share as much information as possible.
Okay, that number again, 947-3090.
90.
Yeah. Okay, remember that.
And just to say, the reason we usually hold these meetings in person, again, but taking as many precautionary measures as possible. A lot of our vet services team have been out and about doing sampling on the ground. Of course, they're wearing their PPE, but we want to ensure that we are setting the right message to our farmers. We are doing this out of an abundance of caution. So right now the meetings are on Zoom. In a few weeks or so, you will see us go back to having our regular meetings at the agricultural grounds or otherwise. So the next meeting, like I said, one tonight and one tomorrow on Zoom.
And of course, we've reached this time of the year, a festive season where there's a lot of food consumption as well, but not only food consumption, you will have persons butchering locally, as well. And it is always easy for negative news and sometimes incorrect news to spread than it is, for the truth. Again, let's use this opportunity. Let's use this platform to send out all of the cautionary measures or messages that you may want to send out as far as butchering and everything is concerned, and the disconnect between the avian flu and anything else that they may be involved in.
Correct. So yes, as we know, we like to call it slaughter season. I know that mightn't be politically correct or amenable to everyone's palate, but yes, so we are entering that season where a lot of livestock are taken to our abattoir, our local butcher shops, like we would call them, for slaughter over the period. And what I will say is, wild mammals may contract avian flu. The same protocols apply when you sanitize. They have their own SOPs on biosecurity measures for their butcher shops. DH will come out and inspect and ensure you're cooking the product, whether it's cattle, swine, or goat. Please ensure you're cooking it to the appropriate levels and temperatures. Again, the disease cannot survive cooking, so there's no prohibition on any slaughter of animals over this period. The abattoir is open. We're taking animals as scheduled, but again, we're encouraging people to use their biosecurity measures, cook the meat appropriately, and ensure they wash their hands and sanitize appropriately. And those are the measures we're taking. We haven't seen it in any mammals yet, but as CMO can attest, it can be transferred to mammals. So, that's where we are. So I don't want anyone not eating their fresh beef for Christmas. Just make sure it's well cooked.
Yes. And from a public health standpoint as well, Dr. Wolf, can we speak to that in terms of, if people do experience any symptoms, what they should do?
Sure thing. So definitely, please do seek medical attention if you have any symptoms, which include fever, cough, red eyes, sore throat. There is definitely a lot of just human flu going around that's circulating, and we've seen that quite a bit. I think we're more concerned about avian influenza if you've had direct contact with animals, and so please do wear a mask if you are concerned, and go to see your doctor, public health department. You can give a call at 244-2889 or 244-2621, and you can be tested and treated.
Okay. And we have other numbers there that we want to share those as well. For instance, the regiment, and of course, the numbers to report any sick or dead birds would be the same as the numbers for the agriculture department.
So any sick or dead birds, and this is for the general public, 916-7146 or 947-3090. Our farmers generally have our on-call vet number, so they're pretty good at calling in any sick animals at all. But we're asking now also if you see sick birds, whether wild birds or feral chickens or migratory birds, however you want to classify them. If you see sick birds or strange deaths or things like that, we ask that you also call that in. And again, the reason is we want to take as many precautions as possible. So we want to test as much as possible to ensure or determine what the cause of death is, or in some cases isn't.
Okay, I want to give both of you an opportunity for some closing comments and anything that you may want to re-emphasize or may not have been covered at the same time, starting with you, Dr. Wolf.
Thanks. So I just wanted to elaborate for a minute about the different types of flu, just so that that's completely clear. So influenza is a large group of viruses with many different subtypes. The one that we're thinking about right now is called influenza A. There is an influenza A subtype that can occur in humans. which is different than what we were talking about right now that happens in birds. So there is an influenza A that happens specifically in birds that we see, and it can transmit to humans, although quite rare. So just wanted to reiterate that the circulating flu that we see among humans is different than what we are seeing in these birds. I think just to say the risk continues to be quite low of avian influenza to the general population, and we just recommend hypervigilance in terms of preventing contact, practicing good hygiene, and properly cooking your poultry and meats and eggs.
Okay, Mr. Welcome.
Yeah, so a similar message from me. Again, what we've seen so far that we're dealing with is a contained scenario on a specific location. And what I will say is what we found on that location is quite unique to farms here in the Cayman Islands, where we had cooped or kept birds intermingling with wild birds. So for our farmers, what we're asking and what we're coordinating with them is to ensure, again, you have your biosecurity measures where you are keeping your kept birds away from wild birds as best as possible to protect your birds. And we'll be giving them advice on things such as making sure your watering area is covered, making sure you're changing your water frequently. So there's various tips and tricks we will be giving them in addition to the full biosecurity guidance regarding foot baths and things of that nature. So on the point of local agriculture, we don't think this will significantly negatively impact our growth in regards to our aims for national food security, and especially our NEST program. What we're hoping actually is this will lead more farmers, especially poultry farmers, to join what we're turning the NEST program into, and probably stealing a little bit of the minister's thunder, but we are working towards a national poultry strategy, so NEST currently focuses on table eggs, but we want to extend that to focus on the entire poultry sector. So people that are raising chickens or turkeys for slaughter and the full gambit of the poultry sector. So look forward to that, and we think this might be the impetus to get the rest of the poultry farmers into the program as well. So I like to look on the positive side of things. Positives here are it's contained to one location so far. We're doing surveillance and monitoring. We look forward to any additional reporting from the public, and all poultry farmers, come on, give us a call, and let's see how you guys can join up to our program.
Yes, excellent. Well, I want to thank both of you for being here this morning. Thanks to your respective agencies in terms of what you do to help to keep the people of the Cayman Islands safe as well. And Dr. Wolf, again, welcome to the Cayman Islands. And Mr. Welcome, again, congratulations on you doing an excellent job. Folks, with that, we're going to go to our headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, we will be talking about International Volunteer Day. So don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
Upgrading Cayman's building codes has been a top priority for the Infrastructure Ministry, and as part of that effort, the ICC board meeting is taking place here in Grand Cayman. The National Coalition for Caymanians Administration says it's pleased to host the International Code Council as it continues to work to strengthen building safety, resilience, and development standards across the Cayman Islands. In international news, Vladimir Putin says Russia stands ready to provide, quote, uninterrupted shipments of fuel to India as Delhi faces pressure from Trump to stop buying Moscow's oil. Putin made his comments during a joint media briefing with Prime Minister Narendra Modi while on his visit to India. The U.S. hit India with an additional 25% tariff over its purchases of Russian oil, arguing it was funding Moscow's war in Ukraine. Putin and Modi also hailed cooperation agreements signed before the briefing, with the Indian leader pointing to new consulates opening up in Russia. The visit comes against the backdrop of U.S. efforts to broker peace But Putin warned again on Thursday that the Ukraine must withdraw from the Donbas region or Russia will seize it. And Netflix is closing in on a deal to buy the film and streaming businesses of Warner Brothers Discovery. The streaming giant has emerged as the top bidder for Warner Brothers ahead of rivals Comcast and Paramount Skydance after offering $28 per share, according to several outlets, including Reuters and New York Times. Paramount made an initial bid to buy the whole company, including its cable networks such as CNN, for $24 a share in October, which Warner Brothers rejected before putting itself up for sale. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
HSA's orthopedic clinic has relocated to the second floor of the Smith Road Medical Center. Our dedicated team of highly skilled orthopedic surgeons treat conditions ranging from spine to ankle injuries in adult and pediatric patients. We offer minimally invasive procedures from ligament reconstruction to hip and knee replacement. If you have experienced an injury due to sports or day-to-day activities, call 949-8600 and schedule an appointment with HSA's orthopedic clinic, now located at the Smith Road Medical Center.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our apologies for that little delay there, but we're right here in the studio, and of course we will be talking about International Volunteer Day as well. And I'm going to ask each of my guests in the studio to please introduce themselves to our listening and to our viewing audience as well. And Ms. Dimpia, we're going to leave you for the last. Okay. So we'll start with the Red Cross rep first.
All right.
Good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
All right. Thank you for having me, Orrett. How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
Awesome. I'm feeling awesome. Guess what? Because it's International Volunteer Day.
Yes.
You know about the Red Cross? If you know about the Red Cross, you know that volunteers are our biggest assets. Right?
Certainly.
Awesome. So good morning again to everyone. My name is Samantha Whitesmith, and I'm the Volunteer and Resources Manager at the Cayman Islands Red Cross.
Excellent. Welcome.
Morning, everyone. My name is Jamil Huggins, and I am the Operations Response and Logistics Officer at HMCI.
Okay.
Good morning, OC. Good morning to the listening public. My name is Dimphna Carton, and I'm the director and founder of Cayman, the mental health helpline of the Cayman Islands.
Okay, so let's talk about International Volunteer Day. Who wants to start?
I think that Sam did a great beginning earlier. Do you want to follow on?
All right. All right. So, every year around the world, we know that December 5th is International Volunteer Day. Mm-hmm. And for us at the Red Cross, we don't take it lightly because guess what? We know, as I mentioned, that volunteers are our biggest asset. I mean, no amount of money can quantify, no check can be written for the number of work that our volunteers do every day. Not just the Red Cross volunteers, but volunteers around the world, volunteers on the Cayman Islands do for us in our community. So definitely, it's a big deal. It's no small fries after all, but it's a big deal for us.
Okay, and of course, the government of the Cayman Islands, we have dedicated the first week of December, from the 1st to the 7th, to express our gratitude and also recognizing the dedication of public servants, volunteers, emergency responders, community partners, they're all unsung heroes when it comes to serving, in the Cayman Islands, as well. Now, you may or may not, you would have heard some of it because you were in the studio here, as talking with Dr. Hilary Wolf and Mr. Wilbur Welcome. And one of the things that they emphasized, one issue that they emphasized that was in the issues that they're addressing now is the collaboration between agencies, as well. And then, of course, hazard management, Cayman Islands, doing the coordination and everything else. And, that is extremely important as well. From hazard management, Cayman Islands perspective. Can you speak a little bit about that, as far as the role that you play in fostering a culture of readiness and everything?
So our role really entails a multi-stakeholder approach. So when we say multi-stakeholder, we engage different government departments, we engage private stakeholders, we engage the community, and our volunteers contribute heavily to that. So as it relates to hazard management, Cayman Islands, we have CERT volunteers and shelter managers. Mm-hmm. And first I would like to say to those who are listening, thank you very much. So all the CERTs, all the shelter managers and shelter volunteers, on behalf of HMCI and the Cayman Islands government, we thank you so much for your continued support as we end the 2025 hurricane season. And we just hope you will continue to volunteer with us and just know that we appreciate you. These volunteers are very important because in the potential situation where we have a hazard impact or a potential hazard impact. So recently when we thought Melissa was going to impact us, what we did is that we had a proactive approach where we started distributing sandbags, and our CERT volunteers, they came out and they supported and they assisted. And that is what we talk about when we speak about collaborative approach. In the event that we have to activate shelters, we have dedicated shelter volunteers and shelter managers. And some of these volunteers are even Red Cross volunteers also. And they will come out into these shelters and they would actually support us. No payment. They do it just hours. Dedication, support to the community. We do constant training, we do community engagements through our preparedness unit, and plenty times when we go out into the communities, we actually have individuals from CERTs, also from Red Cross and shelter managers. They come out and support. So this is in accordance with the Sendai framework. This is an international framework for disaster risk reduction, and they heavily talk about stakeholder engagement, multi-collaborative approach. So we are not just following local standards, we are following international standards and some of the best standards. And this is also in alignment with the government goals to ensure that Cayman Islands is fully prepared in the event of any emergency. So the goal is really to make sure that we build resilience, build capacity, and the country is prepared for any potential scenario emergency.
Okay, we want to talk some more about the Red Cross and, what they do. But before we go there, we can't leave Cayman out of the conversation, at all as well. And we hope that we're getting that shot on the camera there, to some extent, I believe, may be just partial. But Ms. Carter,
yes,
talk to us.
Well, Cayman, as we know, was established at the onset of COVID in the Cayman Islands in March of 2020. And at that point, it was led by professionals. But it was always the hope, it was always my hope, that it would be a volunteer-led agency. And I'm very pleased to say that as of April, May last year, we took it to that level. So we are all volunteers. We all do this outside of our hours. And with that, we changed the hours because it was 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. Now it's 6 to 11 p.m., Monday to Friday. And, I think that more and more we realise that Cayman is such an integral part of everything that happens in the Cayman Islands, of anything that's unprecedented or any need that is, we're there for that. So initially we were there for, hurricanes and storms, but we recognised too that more and more, if there's anything that there's any emotional or psychological need attached to it, we are there. And we're not just on the phone, but we're on the ground. And earlier this year in June, when we had the partial activation of the National Emergency Operations Centre in the search for the missing person, our dear friend Andrew Harris.
Yes.
Cayman was there on site for those 3 to 4 days, offering emotional and psychological support to everybody and to family, to the friends, to people who turned up in that search, and it proved very worthy. So we're expanding more and more. I would say that the recent in regards to the avian flu, it's probably the only time that Cayman has not been called upon to extend our hours. But of course, in the recent Melissa that was ravaged Jamaica very badly. We were there. We extended our hours to the general public because we were all very, very worried. But of course, in the aftermath of what happened in Jamaica, we then realised that we had to extend our hours again in support of any Jamaican nationals and family and friends and our colleagues who are living and working here in the Cayman Islands. So we've quite a wide reach, and we're as I say, we're becoming more and more of a household name. So thank you, Radio Cayman, for always remembering us and giving us that opportunity.
Okay, folks, we're going to take our first commercial break. When we return, the conversation will continue. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards is back. Each day, 12 lucky customers will win a $100 Kirk Market gift card just for shopping at Kirk Market. Ho, ho, ho! You heard that right. Every day for 12 days with 12 lucky winners each day. Come in December 11th through the 24th and shop. You could win. And there's no minimum required. It's that easy. It's Kirk Market's 12 Days of Gift Cards. December 11th through the 24th. The countdown to Christmas is on at Kirk Market.
The holiday season is here, and St. Ignatius Catholic Church is bringing the fun and cheer. Join us for the annual Christmas fundraiser on Saturday, December 13th at 7:15 p.m. on the church grounds. Enjoy Christmas treats, live entertainment, and Carpe Diem singing your favorite holiday carols. And don't blink, the grand prize drawing at 8:45 p.m. could make you $25,000 in CI richer. Tickets are just $25 available at the church office and from members at supermarkets across Grand Cayman. No need to be present to win. All proceeds go to St. Ignatius Church projects, facilities, and scholarship fund. Come for the joy, stay for the fun. Saturday, December 13th at 7:15 p.m. St. Ignatius Church on Walker's Road. Let's make the holiday season unforgettable.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we are talking about International Volunteer Day 2025 here in the Cayman Islands and worldwide as well. So that conversation is taking place with Mr. Jamil Huggins, who's the Operations Response and Logistics Officer at Hazard Management Cayman Islands. Also in the studio with us, we have Miss Samantha White-Smith, who's the Volunteer and Resources Manager at the Red Cross. And, of course, we have Miss Dimpna Carton, who is the founder of Cayman, and she was just talking about Cayman. And you mentioned the fact that you haven't been called yet in relation to the bird flu situation, but there is a possibility that those persons who may be directly affected by it from a financial standpoint as well as an emotional standpoint, with their animals as well, that it may become necessary at some point, huh?
Absolutely, and that's what we're here for, so no problem is too big or too small. Nothing is out of range for us. No topic is, untalkable. But of course, yes, there will be people who will perhaps experience some hardship and even just increased stress because of what's going on and the toll that it's going to take on them. So yes, we want to reach out to the farmers and those as well who keep, chickens as a bit of a hobby, that generates a bit more, financial assistance for them. So yes, please never feel frightened, never feel, that you can't call Cayman. We are happy to take those calls.
Okay. We want to talk and focus more on the Red Cross at this point in time as well. And we know that you do, so much work in the community. A lot of people don't hear about the training, a lot of the training that takes place as well, as far as other first responders and government agencies are concerned as well. Talk a little bit about that. Talk about the relief efforts to Jamaica as well, and as far as coordination between Hazard Management Cayman Islands and the Red Cross. What has been done in that area, and what, if anything, that we continue to do as well.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much. All right. So as you know, we're an auxiliary of the government. We collaborate with different government agencies, such as Hazard Management Cayman Islands, Department of Children and Family Services, and others. Our programs our main program is disaster management, and then after that we have additional programs such as first aid program, the support to our seniors program, our community engagement program, and our child protection program. Now, when we look at International Volunteer Day, we have just a little over 200 volunteers. And the second a volunteer enters our organization, guess what we do? We ensure that there is training and development for that volunteer. Okay. So it's not just, hey, you come in and then we're going to be just doing things like that. We ensure that you're adequately trained. So guess what? When there's a disaster, then you can respond. So once they come in, we have all these trainings. So they can go to the different shelters, or they can provide support to a senior, or they can do an assessment in the community to provide assistance to vulnerable persons. In terms of how we work with the different agencies, when there's a hurricane, when there's a disaster, a fire, in 2024 was a good example of the multiple scares that we had. We had 2 fire, we had over six hurricane scares, or 5 hurricane scares actually. And our volunteers were adequately prepared, and they were ready to respond. Every time a shelter was open, then our volunteers were always at the shelter. Even though the Red Cross shelter is the first to be opened when there's a disaster, they're placed in all the national shelters. And I know Jamil and I have worked together last year, whether it was preparing a shelter, whether it was just opening a shelter. Guess what? Our volunteers were always ready and ready to respond. Yeah.
Now, you all of your organizations rely on volunteers to a certain extent. What is it in the DNA of volunteers that make them want to come out and volunteer for your particular organizations. And I want each of you to speak, to the culture within your organization as far as volunteerism is concerned.
I would say from Cayman's perspective, it's really about people who have a genuine interest in the community. Whether you come from the Cayman Islands or you've recently landed in Cayman, that you're interested in those around you. You're interested in the people, you're interested in the culture, and you want to become a part of it. You don't want to sit in the periphery of things. You want to be engaged, right? And I think that's really important. People that are willing, a readiness. When you ask for help and somebody says, yes, I can do it, so they don't have to really seriously think it over. They're not going to take days. They're quick. They're on the ball. People who ultimately are kind, right, and empathetic are very, very important. Not necessarily people who are hugely sympathetic, right, because sympathy is great, but it doesn't have the agency that empathy has, right? I also think it's really important for people who have a tremendous sense of humour, right, or a sense of humour, because even with K-Mind, and we get to hear some very sad stories and some things that are very concerning, but we also have, along the way, we share some laughs with our callers and the people that we meet and that we engage with. And so whilst the call might start off as being very serious and very heavy and very emotional, by the end of it, there's often laughter, and it's shared laughter. So I think that laughter is very important. I think to be available, you have to be available. So someone who has a lot of other commitments, who's perhaps engaged in other volunteer efforts, and I've seen this, and I'm sure that, Sam and Jamil have seen this, that, there are some people who want to be involved in everything. They're in everything but the Christmas crib, as you might say, right? But, you can't, because you can't give of your best, right? So those are some of the things that I would say from K-Mind's perspective are really important.
Okay, Mr. Huggins.
For us, I would think it's a lot to do with purpose. So based on my experience working with volunteers and based on the culture in HMCI, we look at a collaborative approach in HMCI. So our goal is to make people feel welcome and purposeful, because we get up every morning, we eat, exercise, we go to work, and sometimes we may not get that fulfilling feeling from doing those things. So when you volunteer with HMCI, you know that you're not just contributing to your own sense of purpose, but you're also contributing towards the benefit of society. You're contributing towards the benefit of humanity, in the sense that if there's a potential hazard impact or there's a potential emergency, we're not saying disaster, because you want to use the terms properly.
Yes.
And say, how do you contribute towards making Cayman Islands safer? So when these volunteers come out, they come out thinking that, okay, what I am doing is very beneficial to society. And they don't understand what I'm telling them now. You may not understand how purposeful you all are to the volunteers listening, but you all are very purposeful, very helpful. And that is why the goal next year and beyond, we are building our volunteer program. And we don't just take any volunteers. We have them going through trainings. When we have our shelter management training, it isn't HMCI that does this training alone. We have persons from Red Cross who will come and speak. We have persons from Department of Children and Family Services who come and speak. Fire service would come and speak. We have persons who would come and speak from the regiment, police, Miss Dipna would come and speak. So it's a multi-stakeholder approach where our volunteers are actually meeting our agencies that we work at. Because when persons are in a shelter, it isn't volunteers alone. We have persons from different government agencies that are placed in this shelter. So we all need to work together. But the purpose is when you know that you are doing something for the benefit of humanity. Because if someone is feeling sad in that shelter, as a volunteer, they might come and speak to you. If there's a child that you think may have been, hurt, or there's someone who you think may have been hurt, as a volunteer, you are trained to know who to properly contact. So you would know your limits, but who to contact, and it might contribute to a life being saved or someone feeling safer. So the goal for me is really just purpose, and that culture is being purposeful and contributing towards the benefit of humanity. And we have a lot of persons that comes and volunteer with us. And recently, we had this year when we sent out for a volunteer call for shelter managers and certs, HMCI was able to reach out to over 100 persons. So every year now we find that there are more persons reaching out to volunteer because they are seeing what hurricanes are doing throughout the region right now. So a lot of persons want to be part of this purpose. They want to be part with us. So just next year we have multiple shelter management trainings coming up. We have CERT trainings coming up, and we're asking persons to come, volunteer, and contribute towards the benefit of society.
Okay, you mentioned an acronym there, CERTs, and if you, for a listening and viewing audience, if you could explain what that is. And what I forgot with you, Ms. Dimpner, was the to give the contact details in terms of those persons who wishing to volunteer, how you can be contacted as well.
Yes.
I'll ask Jamil to do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, they can reach out to kmind@hotmail.com. Very easy email address.
Yes, kmind@hotmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Huggins. So, CERTs, what is it?
So CERTs are the Community Emergency Response Teams. So where's the first word we hear there? Community.
Yes.
That is basically your first line of defense, first line of response. So if something is to happen in your community, it might take a little time, say even if it's 30 minutes or 25 minutes before we even reach on the scene. But once we have persons who are trained from that community, they tend to respond quickly and give us that information. So when we say respond, they are not directly a first responder, but they would give us or relay information to HMCI so we could know how to coordinate that approach. But in addition to that, with CERTs, when we have other activities, our CERTs help out, and that is important. So this year they help with sandbags, they help in disaster response. When we have community engagements and outreaches, they come out and support us. Additionally, anything that our HMCI has to do, we ask our CERTs and we also ask our shelter managers to come and help us. So these community emergency response teams, they do not entirely focus on emergency response. In us fulfilling our functions and our role, they come out and they support us. And that is part of giving back to humanity, giving back to society, giving back to culture. And it all encompasses the multi-stakeholder approach to disaster risk reduction, which is an international term as it relates to building society and resilience and making our country better.
Okay, and the contact for hazard management came on.
So what we ask persons to do is send your information to hmci@gov.ky, but in addition to that, go on HMCI page. So just follow our Facebook page, HMCI Hazard Management Cayman Islands, or Prepared KY, or go on our Instagram page, and we would actually have information there where you could sign up to be a CERT. And ever so often, every month or 2 months, we do a call out for volunteers. Okay. So just follow our socials on Facebook and Instagram pages and Twitter.
Excellent. So, folks, we're going to take a commercial break. And, of course, when we return, we will hear from the Red Cross as well. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. We're talking about International Volunteer Day. So, we will be back shortly.
My mom's a superhero. She always knows what to do when I feel icky. Yesterday, we went to West Bay Pharmacy, and they had everything she needed. Medicine, my favorite Band-Aids with dinosaurs, and even flavored vitamins. Mom says they keep our family healthy. I think they're magic. Don't tell anyone. I think superhero shop at West Bay Pharmacy. West Bay Pharmacy, where the superheroes shop. West Bay Pharmacy and Centennial Towers. Convenient quality care is just around the corner.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. For those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about International Volunteer Day. And of course, the government of the Cayman Islands has dedicated the first week of December, from the 1st to the 7th of December, to express gratitude and recognizing the dedication of public servants, volunteers, emergency responders, and community partners, all the usual unsung heroes who serve year-round to build a stronger, safer Cayman Islands as well. And, of course, one of those, prominent agencies in the Cayman Islands, of course, is our Red Cross as well, and represented here in the studio by Ms. Samantha White-Smith, who is the volunteer and resource manager at the Red Cross. And I'm sure that you, over the years, you've seen many, many volunteers as well. And, you know, we hear sometimes people, and sometimes it may be the uninformed, or it may be something that occurred in the past, put a negative spin to volunteerism in the Cayman Islands, and some who may feel that it is done simply for more personal and ulterior motives, as opposed to simply doing it because it is in your DNA as well. So what do you see in the Red Cross, Ms. Samantha?
Well, you know that as you said, the Cayman Islands Red Cross is the largest humanitarian volunteer agency in the island. And for us, our mission is to alleviate human suffrage. So likewise, wherever it may be found, likewise, when it comes on to volunteer, we're very open. In our programs, we don't make it so we have one product that attracts volunteer. We have, like I mentioned, our program, disaster management. So then under disaster management, you could be in a shelter. You could be working on the disaster management containers that are located in the different districts. You could be working on vehicles, logistics, and all that. Mm-hmm. Then we have first aid, the first aid program, where you could be providing first aid coverage at community events. You could become a first aid instructor on behalf of the Red Cross. Then you have child protection. You could become a darkness to light facilitator. You could also be providing other assistance to that program as well. Then you also have our community engagement program, where you could be engaging with the vulnerable community by doing assessments and, you know, picking up large donations and actually being a part of the several sales that we have at the thrift shop, as well as you have volunteer management that you'd provide admin support. Again, for us, we have volunteers that are applying on a daily basis, whether it's on our website or just walking in. Our product is so wide that once you come in, if it is that we realize that, hey, we realize that there's a specific skill set. Mm-hmm. We don't want to waste any time. We want to engage you immediately and say, hey, what is it that you do? What is it that you want to do? Because obviously we want to capitalize on the skill sets that you have. If it is that you say, hey, I don't want to do accounting, or I don't want to do what I'm accustomed to do for my everyday job, then hey, the thrift shop may be somewhere that you want to go because it's relaxing and it's just different, ultimately different from what you're accustomed to do. We're open to all. our volunteer base range from, say, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, to you're a nanny, you're a teacher. So we're pretty much open to all when it comes on to volunteering. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about some of the skill sets that persons may bring to the table, as far as, volunteering is concerned. And we know also at the same time that many of the services that you provide, you go out to the corporate world, and you keep them informed. You help to train their staff, as well. And so let's talk about some of the skill sets that they may bring to the table. And I know on a recent, I think I was hosting talk today, and we had a young lady on there who was actually leaving the jurisdiction, who had worked, with, Cayman as well. How do you replace someone, like that, who's formed an integral part of your organization? How do you replace them?
Well, I have to be honest and say it's very challenging, OC, because we are a very small but mighty crew at Cayman. So currently, and I don't know what the expectation when people think of Cayman and this volunteer service that we offer. I wonder, is it that people see dozens of people that are there helping us? Well, actually, I'm here to tell you that currently it is 12. Right, that's the sum total of our volunteers. So we're a very close team, and as a result of that, we build great harmony within our little network. So when someone leaves, it really is, you feel that you've lost a part of yourself, and particularly when people are so reliable. So, you're talking about things that are important. Reliability is hugely important because, without that, we can't have the service. And then it's going to come back on a few people who have to pick up those extra duties. And that can be very hard. And that can be very challenging. But so people always, then we get new people who come, right? And then they bring something else to the table, and they bring a spirit and a wonderness that, is far reaching. And of course, they spread it then within their networks, within their friends, within their families. And the great thing is that some of the skills that people learn in the training that Cayman offers, and it is an intense training, it's 12 hours in total. So it's 4 evenings over a 2-week period of 3 hours. So you finish work and you start the training at 6 and you finish at 9. And some of it is heavy because, one of the goals of Cayman is not just to be there to help relieve emotional and psychological distress, but ultimately to reduce deaths by suicide in the Cayman Islands. Okay. So one of the modules, one of the evenings is about addressing someone who's actively suicidal. So, but people then become comfortable with that, but they have to become comfortable with each other because, if you're on a call and you've got someone who is very distressed, there's always a backup person so that you're able to reach out to them. But yes, so we're always sad to see people go, and that's why we honour them. That's why I'm so grateful that I've been able to bring on 2 people who were genuinely leaving to go to greater opportunities, right? Or return home to family. But there's always opportunity for new people, and I can't name our volunteers, so I can't sit here today and say, OC, Sam, Jamil, because it is confidential, right? And confidentiality is very important with Cayman. But so I want to take this opportunity to sincerely thank the current Caymaners who are enabling this service to keep going, and we are going to go from strength to strength. There's absolutely no two ways about that, but it does take time. But yes, there's always new people that come, and everybody brings something else to the table. So, we're always hopeful. we remain positive.
And from hazard management, Cayman Islands standpoint?
So for us, we appreciate our volunteers, and what we do when it comes to skill set, we don't really have any specific skill set per se. It's more like we do our background checks. So persons, they would have to attend, like we recently we'd always ensure that they attend child protection training. We recently started with like darkness to light training. That is something offered by Red Cross. So what we do is the background checks. We're going to start to implement other protocols in place, because when you're in these shelters, we're going out to do with emergency response. you would meet vulnerable individuals. And for us, that is very important. And we offer our own specific training. So once we offer our own training sessions, persons will be equipped to do the necessary role. So the main thing we really need is just motivation. We need volunteers to be motivated. So that is not a skill set. That is something inherent within the said individual. So once you come with that required motivation, we at HMCI, we would work with you. And that sometimes tends to be the most difficult thing, because we might sit down here talking about with volunteers, but think about it from a realistic point of view. Imagine we have a potential hurricane heading for us. Whenever a volunteer decides to come out, there's a lot of determination and a lot of motivation, because you have to plan 3 days before, and you may have to end up leaving your family at home to come out under the pretense that we would be impacted by a potential hazard. We're not too sure what the outcome will be, but during the storm, when everyone is choosing to be with their family, you are choosing to be in a shelter and supervise that shelter, basically hoping that we are not impacted. So that motivation, that determination, that love, which I think is very important also, your love for your community, your love for purpose, those are the skill sets we really look at. But it's not really skill sets, it's really mindset. So you see how everything works. So we don't look for specific skill sets. We look for mindset. And once you have that mindset to serve humanity, to be purposeful, that is all we know, and we will guide you accordingly.
Okay, Ms. Samantha?
So, like Jamil, while we were open to all, whatever you do, then you're welcome at the Red Cross. But what we look for as well is that level of commitment. Once you get on board, it's a sort of assessment that you guys do it as well. You start assessing once a person, what's the skill set, where do you think this person would fit in? And ultimately, once you figure this person out, instead of letting that person go around and, do the fingers, then we assign that role from the get-go. Something like shelter management, that is very important. I mean, we have a memo with HMCI, which we have to provide shelter managers to all the government shelters. Our training starts at the beginning of the year from first aid training, and we ensure that every volunteer who signs up to become a shelter manager, for example, then they know that level of commitment that is required. So that is a sort of commitment. They know, like Jamil says, that I'm going to be leaving my family and I'm going to drive to East End to be in the Gun Bay shelter. I'm going to be in the William McLaughlin Civil Center for 2 days. Am I okay with that? I mean, in 2023, we had volunteers that stayed in shelters for 32 hours. Wow. That level of commitment, and they're not going to leave until the last person leaves the shelter. So that is the level of commitment that we're looking for. Luckily for us, we have volunteers. Once you take the training, we automatically assign you. We train our volunteers and we automatically say, hey, what district do you live in? Can I put you in this shelter? So already we have our list down pack, and we have reserves to say if this person pulls out, then we have these number of persons to pull on. So we're looking for committed, hardworking volunteers who, believe in giving of themselves and not accepting, not looking for any handouts or anything of that sort. That's the kind of volunteers. And I must say, our volunteers, I want to say happy International Volunteer to everyone, to all our volunteers, because I can tell you, I've been to different Red Crosses, I've been to different countries, and I haven't met up on any volunteers that have the caliber of volunteerism that our volunteers have. Yeah, I haven't. I've been to all the other overseas countries, territories, and I haven't seen the caliber of volunteers that we have here in the Cayman Islands. Yeah, so kudos to our volunteers, and happy International Volunteer Day. We appreciate you all, and just continue to do the good work that you're doing in our community.
Excellent. We're going to take our last commercial break. We have one question from a listener wanting to know how important it is for people who are volunteering, especially if they're new to the Cayman Islands, knowing the culture, understanding the nuances and everything else, that people may have in a new jurisdiction that they're coming to as well. With that, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, The conversation will continue. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive, drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Busy day? Need the perfect furniture without leaving home? Ashley Furniture Home Store has you covered. Chat one-on-one with our helpful sales team through our WhatsApp in-stock catalog at 916-2323. And here's the festive bonus. Now through December 21st, enter our Christmas giveaway for a chance to win gift certificates of $4,000, $2,000, or $1,000. Visit our showroom at 360 Dorsey Drive. Call 943-2323 or WhatsApp us today and make your holiday home ready and happy.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of this exciting discussion about International Volunteer Day, which is, of course, today, the 5th of December. It has been my pleasure to have in the studio with me Ms. Dimpna Carton, who's the founder of Cayman, also in the studio with me representing Hazard Management Cayman Islands. He's the Response and Logistics Officer, Mr. Jamil Huggins, and from the Red Cross, Ms. Samantha White-Smith, who is the Volunteer and Resource Manager at the Red Cross as well. So one more question at least before we start to wrap up, and I want to give each of you an opportunity for some closing comments and also to encourage persons if they have it in their DNA, if they feel like they want to volunteer, how they can go about doing so as well, and what volunteerism is all about as well. Mm-hmm. But the question that we had was the sensitization to the local culture for those persons who may want to volunteer, but need to understand the nuances and, how people operate and function in the Cayman Islands.
And that's a great question, OC, and I would say that it is important, but it's not a necessity, right? Mm-hmm. Because, that's something that you're going to learn and you're going to grow with over time, but also because of the framework and because of the support that we have, say, within Cayman, we have a list of resources and we have discussions, and I think that the way that we operate, people become more aware of how the Cayman Islands operate. But I would also say, too, that we get calls from other countries within the region, right? So we've had calls from Jamaica, we've had calls from the Bahamas, we've had calls from Bermuda, and we don't live in any of those countries, right? And certainly I have visited, and I have many friends and from those countries, and I've gone there, but I haven't lived there, so I don't understand the mindset of perhaps and the cultural identity of, say, Jamaica, Bahamas, whatever. But we're not there to judge people. We're there to actively listen. And what's really important about being, a Cayminder is that you can listen to people, that you can hear, you let them tell their story. And in telling their story, then they are better able to address and to find solutions for the difficulties, for the stresses that they're going through. So being a good listener is very important. Someone who can keep confidentiality as well is vital, because we are a confidential service, except in the circumstances where we feel that someone is actively a danger to themselves or others. We will try and get information from them as to where they are, who they are, what emergency services we can get there, but we actually have no way of finding out who that individual is. So being a good listener, maintaining confidentiality, being empathetic, being non-judgmental, because we get calls about everything and anything. And again, this is not our story, it's the caller's story. So we have to enable people to tell their story. So
and of course in Cayman and the Caymanian culture, there is a story behind everything.
Yeah.
So it isn't binary in any way. We have to tell that story.
Exactly.
So you have to be a good listener.
Yeah, and nothing is ever straightforward. So sometimes somebody might ring up and it may seem like a very innocuous question, right? Or, I'm just ringing for such and such. And then you answer that because it's straightforward. And then once they get a little gist of who you are and they feel comfortable with you, then they say, well, actually, I've got this thing that I'm worried about. So you have to be patient. You have to give people time. And, because those words may not flow for minutes. And sometimes people can be very distressed and very emotional. And you have to be able to sit with that and to let them be emotional. So they're very important.
Yeah, Mr. Higgins?
How about Deepna? You can say that sometimes people are like babies, or like little ones. You have to listen, and then over time, that information, they're not going to tell you everything in one go. You just have to listen very carefully, and then it will get out.
Exactly.
Yes, Jamil?
For us, it's similar to what Ms. Dipna said. As I said, you don't necessarily need to volunteer as a common island, but it's good to volunteer. And also, what is also important is when you volunteer with us, you at least get an idea.
Bring that mic a little closer to you there.
Yeah. You at least get an idea of the potential hazards that we tend to face on Cayman Islands. Because many individuals, when they come to Cayman Islands, they may not have an idea of what we are really vulnerable to here. So usually when we do our training, we have an information session on like hurricanes and other potential hazard impacts and how it affects us and what level of preparedness you would need. So that information tends to be important for individuals. But as I said, mindset is important, and once you have that proper mindset and you're willing to be, and you have that integrity, that's the next big thing we look at. We value integrity because we will be putting you in spaces where we have to trust this individual, and we trust you also with resources because we have long-term and short-term storage in our shelters, and we have a heavy inventory in our shelters in the event that we are severely impacted. So we are relying on you to not make sure people steal from those resources, to maintain those resources in the event that we activate. So that trust is important, that mindset. And as I said, new to island, it will be good to volunteer with us. It's not a necessity, but it's up to you once you have the right mindset.
Okay, Samantha?
Well, for us, we do have a whole lot of new volunteers once they get on island, trying to figure out what to do, especially if they're not working. They obviously, because Red Cross is known around the world, we're in the community, then definitely persons are going to be probably perhaps one of the first organizations that someone will reach out to. So we do have a whole lot of persons. And I would say it's not necessary, but because we're in the community, we're out there, this is obviously another way of getting to know the culture of the country, culture of the organization, information and just getting to know what's out there. It happened to a number of volunteers. For us, you may be doing logistics where you're seeing different aspects of the country. It may be going to a container in Easton, just where you're seeing things, meeting people out there, talking to people. It may be just taking a senior to a doctor's appointment with us. But once, as you say, you have we have a police check for you, a background check for you, and everything, all your required documents, you've provided your form, your identification, and everything is in place, then we have no problem at all with persons volunteering with us. Yeah.
Okay. Since you have the mic last, I want to give you an opportunity for some closing comments as well.
Sure. You know what? You can volunteer at the Red Cross. In order for you to do so, please go ahead and contact us at 949-6785, or you can send us an email at vrm@redcross.org.ky. Failing to do so, you can just go to the website and apply on the website. We have new volunteer intake every month that you can be a part of the team. Again, happy International Volunteers Day to every volunteer around the world in the Cayman Islands. So whether you're a volunteer in the shelter, whether you're volunteering with the nurse organization, it doesn't matter where you are. Once you're volunteering, you're supporting community members, vulnerable community members. We appreciate you and continue to do the good work that you do.
And they have the opportunity to operate in an environment where the threats are not as high as in some other parts of the world where volunteers, are actively involved, as well. Exactly. Mr. Jamil.
Yeah.
Final words.
Yeah, on behalf of HMCI, happy International Volunteers Day. Thank you to our CERTs and our shelter managers and all those who volunteer with HMCI. You have a festive season and looking forward for next year.
Okay. Cayman, Ms. Carter.
Cayman. Okay, so I just want to say that on behalf of Cayman, we're very grateful for all the support we've given. I'm very grateful for the volunteers. But I also want to point out to everybody and anybody who's thinking of doing any volunteer work that it really helps our mental health as well, right? As Jamil talked about, it gives us purpose, it builds community. We get to meet people, we get to expand our social network, and it's fun. People that volunteer not only have happier, more purposeful lives, but they also tend to live longer. And as I say, it's a great way to meet people and become a part of this ever-growing community of these blessed islands, which we're all very fortunate to be a part of.
Certainly. So, folks, on this International Volunteer Day, I want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There's always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and we should extend a helping hand to them. Sometimes if you can't do that, then I suggest you should donate to a worthy charity like Cayman, like Hazard Management Cayman Islands, even though that's government supported, so they can't accept donations. The Red Cross, Cayman Islands Red Cross, certainly you should donate to a worthy organization, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So, folks, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling. Join Mr. Charles Glidden at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to continue to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. Kirk Market, experience a world of choice. JN Money, from